I've learned that whenever I see like in any of these pro teams, whenever they pick sidestep with a movement hero in the game, they probably have tested it. I started to see a lot of, since like TI, I'm seeing a lot of Drow Centaur. So I was wondering if Drow Pudge works in the same way.
So you see, Drow can move slowly and use items while casting multi-shot. So some kind of a similar interaction would be if you use a Force Staff. Force Staff does not cancel multi-shot, so it only makes sense that any kind of repositioning won't be doing it. Apart from something that stuns you, which the Pudge Hook isn't the case if you are an ally.
Well, we're out on the game right now. Real mechanics are going to come in the form of some competition. Wards being planted out. Not going to have either team doing these big early smokes, which is surprising because Ascent, both of their games yesterday started off with them trying to find something with the early smoke. This time around, taking it a little bit more cautiously.
Let's see, it is... nobody's gonna be fighting. They put 2 wards in the mid lane, so they really want to make sure that this puck is not gonna be having a good time. Even if a ward does get dewarded, you're gonna have another one, and they want their DK to be protected. This might be a Pudge approach, right? We are afraid of a hook in the mid lane, and we don't want that to happen. Though leaving the Drow alone would probably be foolish. Okay, he only got the bounty rune. I thought he was gonna be getting the CM there.
No. 2 bounties a piece, it looks like. Oh, 3 actually they got for the side of Spiky. Okay, that's a nice start to the game. Thankfully, it's not like the old days. Remember the old days, how strong the initial bounty runes were?
Well, yeah, it really did change the game, but there were only 2 back then, right? Yeah, so it made sense, and it made it more fun. People were fighting for bounties more often than not because it would be much easier to guess where your enemies are at, and the map was a lot smaller back then. So I would want that to come back. These bounties were very rarely we see. Level 1 fights are kind of, you know, not that fun to me, at least not in terms of watching.
Yeah, it feels like because it's so often that you trade 2-2 regardless, that like just give me the extra gold at the beginning of the game. What's the point of the objective?
No, we're always looking at Dota like from a competitive perspective. I'm guessing in like lower MMR, which is the majority of the Dota games that are being played, it's just a lot of fighting does happen across those runes.
Yeah, fighting. Looks like Takahashi. One more right click from Manic. Gets the first blood. Drow Ranger able to pick it up. Very nicely done. And that's how you want to start off a lane like this. Okay.
Yep. I mean, they killed the CM as well. We talked about the SF and the CM needing to be aggressive, considering that the Dawnbreaker hit level 2 before they did. It goes to show that they weren't aggressive enough, so immediately you're gonna be in trouble versus that. And another one. Yep, the Pudge hooks are coming through, and this is just the case of this hero is not being played a lot, and then you're gonna be making mistakes playing versus it.
That's 2 kills in that lane. Pudge now also starting to get up with the flesh heap stacks. This is not supposed to happen. Drow Ranger is one of these heroes that you normally pick her expecting that the laning phase will be fine. She'll farm in the early mid game, but giving her a hot start like this, suddenly her weak points gets completely derailed. She's too strong too soon.
Yep, you have 12 CS. Usually with her... Yesterday we talked about the best animation. Drow has to be one of the worst in Dota. And the thing is that with 13 CS that early on, it is a huge deal for this hero.
Takahashi is kind of playing with fire right now. He's banking on the fact that Hara is out of mana. So these hooks are going to stop for a little bit of time. But Hara has a clarity coming in. Next time, might not miss again. So Takahashi needs some regen somewhere.
This is dangerous. If you do get hooked, you're gonna be taken out. Pudge is no laughing matter, and yeah, the clarity is gonna be getting him up to a point where he does have mana for a hook.
The top side of the map, Rain Cloud just trying to farm away on his SF. Chillin'. Look how low they are. Takahashi, okay. Hook missed. but nonetheless still forced into using the healing salve, understanding the situation.
Dire's structures are fortified.
There is the aggression on the top lane. When the Crystal Maiden is level 2, that is when you are dangerous. The problem is that he is having some mana issues at the moment, but 2 Mango is still there, so once he gets level 3, it is going to be becoming easier for him once he gets the Arcane Aura.
What build do you think we're going to be seeing from the SF in this game?
The standard one, you know, Mask of Madness, Dragonlance.
Oh.
Takahashi, what?
Takahashi just ran into Manic and died. That was an atypical play coming in from our Dark Willow there.
He wasn't even attacking him while he was doing it. He was just running towards him to die. It's not like he traded a couple of hits to die and just keep the Drow Ranger super low. He just ran in, and the only damage that the Drow was taking was from 3 creeps that were attacking her at the moment.
Certainly not good from Takahashi. Let's hope that Suki is faring a little bit better in this lane as the DK. And as mentioned, we used to see this being picked specifically to deal with the puck. And it seems like the history is holding true. Suki doing a very good job outstripping Butterfly Effect in almost every department in this mid lane.
It's still okay for Butterfly Effect, right? It's not the worst difference in the world here between the two of them. Just goes to show Butterfly Effect was always good at laning. The other part of the game, not so much, but...
On bottom, Takahashi gets his get back, and they're diving for more. Hara trying to run himself away from Candy Loon. Do they have enough? They run out of the Scorched Earth. They don't have it anymore, and Takahashi gets hooked back by Hara. Even though y'all got Manic, you're not getting out scot-free. Nonetheless, though, killing off Manic, very good for this bottom lane.
Yeah, huge. The thing is, the bottom lane is still going really well for the Drow Ranger. You need to make sure that you break this laning stage apart. What the Drow Ranger wants is a long laning stage, right? And when you're doing well, you can make that happen. Especially because the enemies have a Dragonite. Like, what the hell is he gonna do? This is not your Corrosive Dragon. As SF, in a lot of trouble.
Cloud trying to get himself away, but Cloud's also in a little bit of danger here. They find the Frostbite onto SS. Cloud miraculously able to get out. Gets fed a tango for good measure. It'll be fine.
They didn't have spells on the side of Spiky. So if they had that, SF was a goner. But lucky for him, the Dawnbreaker's spells were on cooldown. So they used the majority of their spells to get him to like 20% HP. And then it became a problem.
And the reason I was asking about his build, remember yesterday he went for Falcon Blade, D-Lance, Yasha, BKB.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And remember we were lamenting the lack of the Mask of Madness, and it seems that he caught the memo. He's going back for it. And in the bottom lane, Manic getting dove upon once more. They're underneath the tier 1 tower. They're going to get body blocks out, and they are going to kill him. Takahashi, will he at least survive this time? He does. Hara doesn't find the revenge, but this is exactly what you need to do against the Drow Ranger. Dive under the tower, top lane. First
Speaking
rotation
of,
for Butterfly Effect. They get the Hex out onto Raincloud. Do they have enough to kill the SF? He's still alive. SS dies first, and they eventually pick up the Shadow Fiend. But it was an expensive grab there. Butterfly Effect didn't have the damage with the AD rune to get the kill faster.
Not only that, look at the mid lane. The mid lane tower is already towards half HP, and sure, it might not be a Corrosive Dragonite, but he's still applying as much pressure on the tower as a Corrosive Dragon would. And we are gonna see a Wisdom Rune steal. Big deal. Both the Pudge and the Lion very, very experienced, hungry. Same is true for the supports on the other side.
Also saw another dive bottom. They wanted to go for Manic. They failed to get the kill, so Takahashi's life will be forfeit. Candyloon really wants to die for it, but doesn't have the Scorched Earth for another 15 seconds. And be forced to just let this one go. And like you mentioned, unfortunately, it's a Dragonite. If this was a mobile mid, he'd be here right now getting these kills. And Candyloon, all of a sudden, finding himself outnumbered, taking so much damage. K-Class even comes in to make sure they secure the kill with the Earth Spike. You see Spiky Gaming, twice now they've overloaded bottom with additional numbers, and twice now it's been successful.
Yeah, very smart. This is what you do when you have a Drow Ranger. You cannot allow this hero to go into the jungle even when she hits level 6. It is not ideal. It is not the old Drow that one-shots creepins in the jungle with the piercing shot. You need some time to get them down, even with the power treads in level 6. So you just want to stay in that lane indefinitely, and to do that, you're going to be needing a ton of rotation. So next, we might even see the puck go towards there.
Puck right now just playing with some shenanigans, interrupting Candyloon's attempt to get some free farm, drawing some movement in from Ascent Esports. And he's not very far away, so they have to be very careful with their positioning from Candy Loon here.
The butterfly effect, the only thing he wants is to be between the mid and the bottom lane. He's farming a bit. Okay, that's deep. Level 6 Pudge.
Hey, nice Pudge hook. They're not going to connect, but they've already found the kill onto Takahashi. Looks like he's going to be the one giving the dirty jobs in this game, it feels like.
Solar Guardian is now available. That is a big deal. You're not going to be diving this Zhao again unless you have a Doom, which Candyloon will have soon, but we know the Dooms have been kind of conservative in their Doom usages early on.
Yeah. What do we make of the Doom's build? He's going in right now for a the Spirit Vessel for the game.
It is, I guess it's a counter for the Dawnbreaker, but I'm not the biggest fan of this. I just think drums might be a good way to go, you know, those Blinks BKBs. I'm not 100% sold on the offlaners getting these urns. I know that it's something that people have been experimenting with, but so far in competitive gaming, the games that we have cast, I haven't seen much success from it.
Yeah. And we even saw that game yesterday where it took several minutes, like 4 or 5 minutes before the urn charges started flying in. We'll see if the fortunes of the item can change here, as they are now bringing in the Shadow Fiend bottom. They would love to take away this tier 1 tower, limit the farm space of the Drow. And like you said, Spiky Gaming understand this and want to protect it at all costs. Let's see if they start bringing in additional heroes. Lion already coming in through the Twin Gate, but could find himself not in the area he wants to. And now though, look who they're going on to is the Shadow Fiend. Solar Guardian comes in. He can't get off the Requiem, and he will die. The fight's not over though. Hex out onto the Doombrain. And though it does get out the spell, nonetheless ends up dead. They also went to the other side of the fight and were able to eliminate Takahashi. So a 3-for-1 exchange here, all going in favor of Spiky Gaming.
So when I started thinking more about this urn in this game, maybe it is the way to go, because remember, early mid-game aggression for Ascent, that is what you need to do. But that also means that this 2k gold lead is a big problem. Yes, you've taken down the mid lane tower, and that might open up situations for you, especially with the blink on the Dragonite, but if you do not make this work, it is a huge problem. So far, Spiky has been doing everything right in terms of keeping their Drow in a good place, and if you dodge the ganks right now, the loss of that mid lane tower might not even be that big of a deal.
Spiky smoked up with the supports. I think they want to go and find some adventure in the top lane, join up with this Dawnbreaker. Raincloud would be an incredible target if they can get there.
They'll get him.
They're closing the gap. Hara wants to find the angle, and the smoke will break on the Lion. The hook will miss, however. Hara has been catching these hooks pretty nicely down on the other side of the map, but misses on this occasion.
Drow's here.
Wants to come in as well. Coming from the back line, looking towards the Crystal Maiden, able to kill her off with the multi-shot. So though they do not get the SF just yet, they're still on the hunt for him.
They know where he is.
Hiding in the trees. Stay in the trees, my friend. He cannot. He gets found out by Hara. Bursts down by the crew. That's one less Shadow Fiend on the map.
That steal of the Wisdom Runes is one of the most influential ones I've seen lately. It is just so important for both of the sides of their supports to have very high levels, and Ascent supports are just in the dumpster in that regard, whilst the other two are in such a good position. This is why the game is looking so far so easy for Ascent. They are taking down towers, and once they do get those levels, it might become scary for Spiky, but you've already had a pretty much perfect early game.
These supports are level 5 on the Dire side. Radiant supports are level 7, but now the levels might come in from a kill onto Manic. This is going to be a dead Drow Ranger for sure. And they get him. Won't be able to find more because SS has wisely backed up. But okay, K-Class walking a little bit closer here. Dangerous territory to be in. Suki has the Blink Dagger with Dragon Tail available. On the right side of the fight, Hara will end up missing a hook. There's the Infernal Blade. Now Blink in from
Beautiful.
the TK. Catches onto the Lion while they hold in place and kill off this Pudge. That's one down. Can they get more? We still have a long cooldown on the Blink, so it's not going to happen just yet. Candy Loon actually gets the Spirit Vessel out onto this Lion. Is K-Class going to die? Let's see. He's going to be fine. 30 HP, but he lives.
He thought about the Doom there. I don't know if the Lion got out of the range, but in the end he decides not to do it. And this is the timing of Ascent. Now, go now. In the next 5 minutes, they need to be getting the lead back, because the laning stage didn't go as expected, but you need to make something happen at this point. And with all 3 of the tier 1s being down, you do have the opportunity to do so. This just goes to show, kills don't mean all that much. If you lose your towers, there is always going to be an opening for the enemies to go back. And here it is. It's happening.
Ascent Esports, like you said, have opened up the map for themselves. This Dragon Knight's the most farmed hero on the map. And although this SF has been getting dove, has been getting kills, actually not that far in net worth relative to all the other cores in the game. So he's still going to be able to play some Dota. And might actually have a very nice fight here. They come in with the Solar Guardian to perhaps save this Pudge. He gets doomed though, so he should die regardless. Now, Dawnbreaker might have put herself in a bad position. The Dark Willow getting herself fingered out, killed by the Puck, and now the question is, can they escape with Ascent Esports, because Puck is on the chase. Butterfly Effect in SS, killing off the Doom. Requiem being channeled by a Rain Cloud, cancelled out by the Manic Gust. Shadow Fiend doing his best to escape. Channeling the Requiem once more, he does get it off, and here comes Suki now with the turnaround play. They kill off the Puck. DK able to stun off the Drow Ranger, but unfortunately there's enough tick damage that they still lose the Shadow Fiend. Massive bloodbath in this mid lane. However, when all is said and done, it's 4 deaths on the side of Ascent and only 3 for Spiky.
Still, Ascent, they're doing what they need to. If you go for more fights like this in the next 5 minutes, you will be forcing your enemies into a mistake here and there, and that is what you want to happen. So now there's no Solar Guardian, and you can reset and go in again. The one thing I'm seeing from this Drow, though, he's going for an Aghanim Scepter, which, yeah, it is very strong in this game. But I can't help but think that a Yasha is a necessary item for you just because of the mobility.
Yeah, Yasha would be very, very nice. I guess maybe the idea is that you transition this into the Hurricane Pike and you use that for your mobility.
I guess you will be getting that for sure, but then get a Hurricane Pike now and then get an Aghanim Scepter. That's where I think it's dangerous. There's the Orchid reveal.
Speaking of danger, ends up being killed off. Orchid reveal, like you mentioned, for the DK. And you were mentioning earlier that what a difference levels can make for these supports, right? I mean, just see the difference in how they've been taking these fights. Once they got the Bedlam, once they got the Freezing Field, Ascent just became incredibly dangerous, and they're going to show that danger up in the top lane. K-Class, sorry, my friend, your pursuit of the Blink Dagger on this side of the map is over. You are dead. Not really much you can do about this one.
Maybe not.
Oh, wait. Is he actually going to live? Suki not going the right direction. He comes in, and Manic is right here as well. Manic!
Run, Manic, please!
Get out, my friend. Drow Ranger standing her ground, but might live to regret it. Puck trying to bail her out of trouble here with the Dream Coil. They've thrown in the Hurricane, though, dragging her back, and Horror there for the defensive hook as well. In the meantime, Freezing Field goes down. It's going to be able to kill off SS, as we have it dismember onto the Doom. Horror wants to try and kill Candy Loon, but the laning phase is over, my friend. This Doom is very, very strong right now. As this chase is happening, down a little bit to the south, Suki trying to go 1v1 versus Butterfly Effect. Butterfly Effect, the one that's forced to retreat from this one. So both him and Manic somehow live, but Butterfly Effect been found, got doomed, got killed. At least takes Takahashi with him into the grave, but makes it a very, very chaotic fight where they lose 4 on the side of Spiky.
Oh, ballsy approach coming out from Spiky. This is what I was talking about. The mobility item on Drow Ranger, it is missing. She cannot do the damage that is necessary for a team. Manic? No.
Deny, Manic. You got this, you got this. Okay, you got this.
It's still not good. You're dead for 44 seconds. It means that all 3 of your cores have died in a span of a minute, and that is not ideal. Also, him being dead does open up for Ascent to continue with their aggression, and I don't think they're going to be stopping. I mean, why would they?
Why would they indeed, when things have been going so well for them right now? Just DK. Suki has been playing some really good Dota. Even yesterday, on when is it? It was the Storm Spirit, we had a really impressive game, despite the fact that they lost. Likewise, from this guy.
Did he have the very early Blink Dagger on the Shaker?
Yes, he did. Second fastest on the patch.
Yeah, and then lost miserably. Yeah, but still. Yeah. It's still quite nice. Oh, SF's career is gone without anything in it. Why was what? Okay. He just wanted to send his career there to die. That is the only reasonable explanation that I can come up with.
I mean, maybe the courier just needed some exercise, you know, took it on a walk. He was just trying to make sure that it's nice and healthy, and then it gets assassinated. These monsters on Spiky, man. How dare they?
Yep. So now you're targeting tier 2s. How are the tier 1s looking? I mean, they did open up the mid lane tier 1, but until this line gets the blink, you don't have proper initiation. Blink dagger on the puck is not enough.
He's stuck trying to farm it slowly but surely, but until then, now, but even by the time he gets it, the game just got more difficult. BKB available for Suki. BKB being built up by the SF, not done just yet, and they're going top. They want to yet again. Bro, K-Class, what did you do to these homies? I don't know, but they are not happy with you right now. He runs headlong into all of them. They see him. Suki finds him. Suki able to bring him down.
They're trying to find the drow.
Delayed once more, and they get the drow. The Hurricane back to try and pull her into position. The defensive hook will be there, but she has been hit with the vessel. The right clicks will come in, and she will go down.
Oh boy, this Hurricane on the Doom is really doing work. He's just making sure that he's catching heroes left and right, and you can see just how good the aggressive vision on the top lane is for Ascent. When you're the dire side and you have vision on the top lane, that means that you want to fight. On the bottom lane, you would be farming. On the top lane, you want to murder people. And then, when the enemies are on the bottom side of the map, it's very hard for them to escape. So even without vision, smoking there, it has a much higher chance of working out. So I really like how Ascent are playing this game. If they hadn't gotten dumpstered in the laning phase, this would be a very hard game for Spiky. But alas, they didn't do too well in the laning stage, so Spiky are still in the game.
Very shallow in terms of the gold lead, the experience lead, even that win probability that you saw. 54% for Ascent. So Gaben still regarding the chances of Spiky Gaming being quite high. However, right now is a difficult portion of the game for them. They still do not have that blink dagger on the Lion. We have the Agnum Scepter on the Drow, and she's starting to angle into the Hurricane Pike, but it's going to take a while before she's there. What will help, though, is getting this Aegis so that they have some uninterrupted farm time, hopefully, from Ascent.
The thing is that Drow lineups, if they lose too many towers, it is a problem, right? And if you lose a second tier 2, that's going to be an issue. So I think considering they don't have a TP on the Drow, that is going to be happening on the top lane. The thing is, Drow lineups, how they want to play is the Drow in front, and then when everybody goes for the Drow, you pull her out, you jump in, you keep them in place, and she can do the damage. If she's constantly running towards the opponents, you're never going to be able to play to your full potential, and this is why all these towers being down is in itself a huge problem for the later portions of the game and the Drow Ranger in it.
Unfortunately, Spiky Gaming have yet again had a Wisdom Rune stolen from them. So Ascent gets 2 Wisdom Runes, and they stole their Tormentor too. Went the way of the Crystal Maidens, we got the Crystal Clone. What a spell.
It's a really cool spell. The thing is, though, Spiky won't really be running into you, so the Crystal Clone in this game in particular isn't that strong.
Spiky Gaming smoking up with 4 heroes. Haste Rune activated for the puck, so they are hoping to find somebody farming in a dangerous area. Unfortunately for them, nobody home. The Doom is heading in this direction, however, so they might get lucky enough to catch him. He blinked forward, in fact, as well, but he's right next to the tier 2. Feels a little bit dangerous to jump on him. They're going to attempt for the hook. Hara barely misses, but it's a miss nonetheless.
He does have the Aether Lens and the Shard on Hara, so right now the Pudge is a great saving tool. With this, you can play a little bit more aggressively with the Drow than what you would naturally want, but that's only if your Pudge is alive.
Sadly, you can't hook yourself, so if you get jumped on, nobody's there to save you. It's always the way of the world. Nobody rescues the rescuer.
I don't know if you've ever gone fishing, man, but you can very easily hook yourself. It does happen.
I've actually never been fishing. I'd like to go one day.
Yeah, I'd like to go one day when I'm 70 years old. That's kind of when you should go there. I'm gonna get a lot of hate. So it's butterfly effect.
Suki. Yeah, and they jumped in with SS here. That forced to immediately activate the BKB so he can get out. But it's an open question as to whether that'll actually happen. The arms were raised from Candy Loons. to activate the Doom, but he cancels it just at the last moment, and they'll be content with just grabbing the puck.
This is the problem. You cannot play a Drow lineup when you have no towers. I don't know what they're supposed to do. Sure, a lot of people can say, oh, they can hold high ground, blah, blah, blah. Hook people inside of the fountain, sure. But that's not how you win games.
And she's no longer progressing as Slyan. But I think you need to accept you're not getting Blink Dagger this game. I don't know if Ascent's just never going to allow it to happen, but doesn't seem like it's a possibility.
You have to get the Blink Dagger though, and he's gonna have it in 150 gold. Come on, Snare, give the guy a break. He's close.
You know how close he's been and how many times he's died while he's close? I don't know, man. I'd just be so despondent if I was him. I'd be like, seriously, guys. Just one, bro. Just one item. That's all I want in the game.
He'll get it. He'll get it. He might get it a little bit too late, but yeah. There it is. You see, when things go.
Sell some items to get there, but you know, not this is like, right? That's when you have to go to the pawn shop out of necessity.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, out of necessity. I have a lot of friends who sold their childhood gold so they could go party. So, you know, there's the reveal.
The reveal is here. Will it be a successful one is the question. No, Suki on the backline got caught by this DK. He's going to be able to get out, and the Doom is still alive. Instead, they turn and kill onto the Crystal Maiden. Manic finally able to kill off this Doom, but not before the spell comes out. They've lost the second one, though, with the Crystal Maiden, but Manic has now been caught. Still has an Aegis to play with. The Requiem comes out. Life number 1 is taken, but there's no BKB, there's no Hurricane Pike, there's no mobility as you've been talking about. The Gust will be there on top of the
huge one
with a beautiful
Budge is back
in the swirl from the Dawnbreaker. Manic with the damage help from this puck might actually be able to find this kill. Aura brought back, came in on the back lines, finds a hook onto the Shadow Feed. And that enables them to kill him. Means a dieback onto Hara, but hashtag worth. It keeps Manic alive, enables Spiky to win the team fight, and reset some of the advantage Ascent has been gaining.
That's pretty good. And also, what a hook coming out from the Pudge. He gets Hurricane Piked back away from DSF, but he uses the hook at the same time. And it catches DSF, brings him in an even worse position than he was previously in. But overall, it's still showing that Ascent are stronger. This is a initiation from Spiky onto the Doom. Doom forced to Doom a line while he's doing that, just to get a kill. While he's doing that, he dies. Right, so a lot of things went wrong for Ascent in that fight. So this doesn't give me too much confidence for Spiky, but it just goes to show that once they got the Blink Dagger on the line, things are changing. Because, well, now they have something to make plays with. Buck Blink Dagger is just mostly for reinitiation once your Drow is attacked. And the Lion Blink Dagger is the one that finally allows you to start the fights.
Now, though, they also have a better tool for defending this Drow Ranger. They picked up an Aghanim Scepter out onto the Dawnbreaker. And she's changed her mind. She had the Hurricane Pike we were talking about earlier queued up. Instead, Drow's now going straight for the Butterfly.
I think it is the Aghanim Scepter to the Dawnbreaker that made her change their mind. Meanwhile, doing that again. Nice.
Yeah, nicely done. And yet again, who's the culprit to set this up? It's the Lion. Like you mentioned, this Blink Dagger changing everything.
Dire's bottom tower
Yep,
is under attack.
it took a long time. He gave up his life a couple of times as well, but now he finally has it, and it really is and will continue to make a difference in this game.
Dire are scared.
SF not going to be able to help his allies. He has to just watch this Dark Willow getting taken out. Dawnbreaker right in front of her. Get the hook back and a quick kill. Another one towards Manic. Oh, and you get to get a neutral item while I'm killing you. Beautiful.
So, only 7 Flesh Heap stacks on the Pudge. I expected him to have more, not gonna lie, especially how good his early game was going, but still, good enough. Draw range now with the Butterfly will be able to stand her ground. You want a BKB and a Hurricane Pike. If you get those 2 items on a Drow and you do not lose this mid lane tower, you have a chance to win. But if in the process of getting the BKB, of getting the Hurricane Pike, you die, you lose the mid lane tower, it is going to be a problem.
Game hanging on a nice edge. As a hook thrown forward, but not going to catch on to anybody. Suki will pick up a shield rune. They might decide to try and do something with this. Indeed they do. The opportunity feeling too good to pass up. Suki gonna want to lead this charge. With their vision, they see Lion. Katlos, remind you of the old days, buddy. Wanna come say hello. Your friends from the top lane. But he blinks into safety. Blink Dagger proving to be very, very value. Little does he know that he actually might have just stopped this team. But SS, not so lucky. Does have BKB and the Solar Guardian, but will not have the opportunity to use either. Killed off as Ascent Esports continue to put a lot of pressure on this map.
You now just go. You go like madmen. I think you dive them like crazy and Ascent. Okay, no, maybe they're just thinking about this mid lane tower. No, they're diving. That is a smart choice. Just try to get as many kills as possible.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Manic with this multi-shot, just pushing away this. Oh, Hook, they actually caught the Shadow Fiend. They're not close enough to save him. He's gone. Katlos credited with the kill, and they threw the Doom out onto Hara. He should end up dead from that one. Let's see if they can get anything more. Katlos managed to evade the stun coming in from Suki. You know, the multi-shot though from the Drow Ranger almost immediately killed off this Dark Willow. She will eventually die though, chased down by Butterfly Effect.
This is why.
They thought they were playing aggressively, but like you mentioned, these towers, they can play so well around them for the side of Spiky.
This is why you dive. This is why you do not just attack the tower. Though that was NSF making a mistake. Let's not lie. He does have the movement speed necessary. He has a Hurricane Pike. He can dodge that hook. But he just somehow got caught by it.
This game is very topsy-turvy. Close on the kills department. 27 to 24. And 30 minutes in, although it's a 6k gold lead for Ascent, it's still hanging on a knife's edge. Look at that, 48-52. Pretty much 50-50 game right now.
Yep, but Spiky.
No, Candyloon! He literally blinked forward into Manic. Oh no.
And he cannot
He's
TP out.
dead
He's
for
right
sure.
next to a
Trying
punch.
to TP, but like you mentioned, there's a dismember. Cancels it out. They kill him off. And this is a Radiant side, Roshan, and you just lost your Doombringer, your offlaner. Don't you just go straight into the pit if you're Spiky?
Yeah, you do. You do 100%. The lanes are also in a pretty decent position, especially with the puck now dealing with the mid lane. You should be able to go in. There it is, Manic, he makes the call. Not level 20 just yet, but after the Roche, he's gonna have that on Drow as well. Things are really looking up for them right now, because with this Aegis, you can actually go in position aggressively. Remember what we talked about, how you want to play the Drow? She wants to be in front. She wants to be the first point of contact with the enemies, and then her team to bail her out so that she can be attacking all the time. With the Aegis, with the Doom being down and the lanes in a decent position, you can actually make this happen. And Spiky are good at defending towers. They're good at catching heroes that are attacking the tower because they have a pudge. If you look at Ascent, they don't have the same thing. The only thing they can do is jump on you, and you jump on the Drow, she instantly gets dismembered by the pudge. There's absolutely like no problem for Spiky at that point.
Dire's structures are fortified.
As you mentioned, Manic leading the charge, peppering the damage in onto this tier 2 tower. Nothing they can do to stop this. And Ascent, they don't want to play passively in this situation. They're actually smoking up. And they just TP'd home on the Dawnbreaker, but it is a Dawnbreaker, of course. She can come right back in to save somebody. Drow, not the person you want to fight first, but the puck is great. They get on top of him. Unfortunately, not the full silence. They kill Hara almost immediately. Puck trying to get out here, able to get the blink away. So Hara is dead, but he's done his job. Question is, can the puck escape? Candyloon not going to be able to find the Doom. Oh, wait, he actually didn't jaunt away. Butterfly effect. Oh,
Why?
no. Oh, no.
Was that the jaunt bug? I think it was the jaunt bug when you need to press the D button twice. It is. Dude, I hate that. I hate that when I play the puck. I don't play him too often, but when I do, when I want to jaunt, I'm smacking my keyboard because of that.
Oh, well. Butterfly effect definitely smacking his keyboard right now, as his life will open up the space for Ascent to take the tier 2 tower in this mid lane. All the other towers are gone, and even though they're playing into the Aegis, they're still playing on the front foot.
Okay, so still, if this mid lane tower was taken like 5-6 minutes ago, then it would have been an issue. But I think Spiky survived long enough that you've gotten to a point where you can actually get the luxury items that allow you to play into the late game with the Drow. The win probability because of that is 50-50, because the Drow can kill the entirety of the enemy team. I would still give the advantage to Ascent, considering that they do have towers and they're always going to be controlling the majority of the map. But very easily, with a good line initiation, you can open up the map with one hero being dead. The Drow can posture aggressively and play in a way that you want to. Plus, she has a 9-second BKB. 9-second BKB this late into the game is a big deal.
Surprisingly, the Shadow Fiend's BKB is still at 8 seconds.
Same is true for the Dragonite. Like, they have been very conservative on those usages, and I like it because that also now mitigates the strength of the 9-second BKB of the Drow.
Okay, reconnecting, coming in right now for Crystal Maiden. We're back, baby. Ascent definitely making this a very entertaining game. Top net worth is this DK. This DK is crazy farmed. Bloodthorn, Silver Edge, BKB, a Blink, and an Enchanted Quiver, fam.
Yep. If he gets on top of the Drow, he's gonna destroy her. Even through the Butterfly, you do have your Bloodthorn. Also, very cool item from the Crystal Maiden. We really haven't touched upon the Boots of the Bearing. You're playing versus so many slows. The Drow, the Dawnbreaker, Puck with his Witchblade, soon to be Parasma, and then the Pudge. If you pop the Boots of Bearing at the right moment, it can bail out your heroes, allow you to re-engage if need be. I really like this item choice coming up from the CM, and it is a hero that naturally does buy the green boots anyways.
Courier kill, that was the plate mail from SS, so we're delaying the AC somewhat. And we do see a smoke out from Spiky, heading on a little adventure. Of course, have the Dawnbreaker to back them up if need be. I don't have the best vision in the world right now, though, so it's not easy for them to find a target, and they're going to be running into a fight with a numerical disadvantage here. The Puck is not with them at the moment. They're going to jump forward. They do find the Crystal Maiden.
The Drow has been found.
She is still alive, and at the same time, they found Drow. Suki got into the backlines, and now here comes Raincloud as well, chomping through these heroes with the right-click damage. SS already went in with the Dawnbreaker. Can't do much more. BKB now activated by Manic. He's getting out of here. This might keep him alive. The chase potential is still there, though. Suki not letting this one go, ensuring that Candyloon can find the kill. And Spiky, they were the ones that went on that adventure. It turns out that here be dragons, and the dragons are very scary.
Suki's way too strong in this game. He just understands what his role is. Always jump on the Drow Ranger. She's the only constant output of damage of the other side. And also the Dawnbreaker, her main purpose should be to bail out the Drow. The main purpose of the Pudge should be to bail out the Drow. And they just focused on, let's go in and kill this guy. And sure, you got the kill in the Dark Willow. Nobody cares. Now your axes are going to be in trouble.
Yep. No buyback available for the Drow. Gee, like you said, it's all the damage. I don't think this is just one lane. This is probably two.
Yep, for sure. I mean, you have an SF on your side. He's level 21. Plus, you have an overfarmed DK. The amount of push that they have is insane.
Hook coming in from Horror. Hey, this time around, Raincloud presses the buttons. Will not get caught again by Horror. Tier 3 tower in the bottom lane will go down. They still have a Glyph of Fortification if they want to use it. They will indeed pop it. Okay, a spell out onto Suki. They hook him back. There's the Dismember. Can they save him? The Finger of Death is out. Do they have enough damage? He's still alive. Suki will eventually die though. And now SS coming in. Solar Guardian looking towards bringing down Candyloon, as they've already lost both of their supports. Do they have the damage? BKB ends. They yules him up into the air. That should be death on the Doom. Butterfly effect with the double kill.
It's very scary to go up the high ground of Spiky, but it's the only place that they are scary. Any other place on the map, it is going to be an issue for them. And this comes down back, again, to the towers. Not having the towers with the Drow lineup that generally is very slow. You need to be following her around the map, waiting for her around the map. It means that you're almost never going to have all of your heroes together. I'm looking at this Puck and I'm thinking maybe the bots too might be the next item that you think about. And considering that he still has an open slot to buy, I don't know, an Octarine Core and Aghanim Scepter, it just doesn't seem like that good of an idea at the moment. But maybe you buy an Axe now. You get to your level 25, it allows you to defend the base for a long time, and you gear up for the ultra late game, because the Puck with the Drow aura and an Aghanims later on, if he can, in the later portions of the game, get that bots 2 and always be with his team, then it is going to be a completely different story in these fights.
Yeah, I was about to mention that the fact that he's now got Parasma with the Enchanted Quiver, about to hit level 25, it's a lot of right-click damage actually that the Puck deals.
Yep. But he wants the Octarine first. I really would have liked the Ags.
SS toying around with the 2 supports from Ascent. When the DK is away, Spiky Gaming will play. But now Big Daddy DK is back. You gotta play a little bit more carefully.
And he's approaching his level 25. We all know what that means. You have no break for him in this game. Nobody's buying a Silver Edge. The Drow Ranger not thinking about that one just yet. This DK is going to be unkillable when he gets the regen and armor, at least from the damage of the Drow. If he gets hooked and then the supports kill him before he pops the BKB, they are the ones that can take him out.
Top lane, Doom. Candy Loon might... They just walked past each other, what? Okay, and then Candy Loon blinks into the creep wave. Alright, guys. He is literally begging to die. We have to kill him. It's illegal gameplay if we allow this man to live. They find him. His team is coming in, though.
Look at a good positioning.
Suki, he finds Hara first and foremost. They take out the saving tool of the Pudge. Can they get out as the Solar Guardian coming in right now from the Dawnbreaker? Dreamcoil catching only onto the Dark Willow. She snaps it immediately. Manic goes in with the multi-shot. They kill off the Dark Willow. It's now 3v4, but they take out the Lion. Rain Cloud with the right-click damage, normalizing this fight. But now the BKB from the DK is down. However, it is still a very farm DK, so Spiky might not want to keep the chase up. That being said, Suki is coming back. Blink available with the Dragon Tail. BKB available from the Drow. She goes in on top of the Tracia, putting in the right-click damage. They kill off the SF. Suki, though, is still so goddamn strong with the help of the
Level 25.
who came in with the freezing field. It looked so solid, but unfortunately, Butterfly Effect picked up the 25 in the middle of the fight. They've had a huge blade mail. That blade mail from SS just completely broke them, enables them to win it all and completely team wipe Ascent.
SF forcing himself forward, thinking that he can fight a Drow Ranger on the Glacier. She annihilated him in a second. And then when you don't have the second source of damage, and there was a BKB on the Drow, big deal. This Drow Ranger won the fight. With the damage, with the BKB usage before the Dragon Tail. That Dragon Tail connects with the Bloodthorn, the Drow dies in a second, and the fight is over. But because he responds with the BKB, it wins them the fight. One player on their side, the Drow Ranger, is overperforming, but I really hate how SS is using his ultimate. Every single time he sees a support going in or getting on him, he uses it. It needs to be the Drow Ranger that tanks these ganks. You need to be a little bit more... You need to trust your team more. Let's put it that way. And in these situations, Pudge got caught. Get the hell out. Sure, it ended up being good for you in the end, but it could have been a complete disaster for Spiky if only the Drow Ranger made a slight mistake there with the BKB usage, or didn't play as well, let's put it that way. But the Puck is level 25. He has the Octarine core. He's very close to his Aghanim Scepter if he wants it. And I think that we are getting to that ultra late game part when this Puck will be doing a massive amount of damage.
In retrospect as well, it is still surprising that Ascent Esports decided to take that fight without their Doom at the beginning. Like, I can still see the rationale of going 4 versus 5, given how strong the DK is, but just imagine if they had the Doom. If they could Doom the Drow in that fight, it would have been so different.
It is the positioning. Positioning in Dota is everything, especially in the later portions of the game. The enemy is drawn in, you kill 2 heroes, and then you can win a fight. Generally, on paper, Ascent should have won that fight, but because they decided to commit onto the Drow and didn't respect her damage, plus she dodged the stun, it is why they lost. So going for a fight there was definitely the right call.
The Drow is also starting to build into a Daedalus. Once she gets this, oh my goodness, the damage output is going to be tremendous. However, before the Daedalus, the next port of call for both teams is Roshan, who has now respawned on the Radiant side. Ascent Esports do not want to give up the positioning as they smoke up Suki. Oh, they see Manic. They got the Drow, but the save there immediately from Hara. Yep. SS going in with the ultimate. Let's see if they can catch everybody else here. Starbreaker finding the stun onto the Doom, but they get the Doom out spell onto the Drow Ranger first and foremost. They now need to run because this SF is just sitting back, laying in the right-click damage, getting himself a triple kill. He wants an Ultra. Dawnbreaker, there's no escape for you, my friend. She dies as well. As Ascent Esports recognize the importance of the Roche, win the fight around it, and don't even need to get the Roche. They're looking towards another lane of racks.
Yeah, they can in the game right now. The Draw Ranger doesn't have a BKB. That was a perfect start to the fight for the side of Spiky. Your Drow gets gone on, instantly eaten by the Pudge, but once again, the Solar Guardian being used. And because it got used that early, the Drow Ranger gets out of the Pudge at the same time that the Solar Guardian lands, and then the Terrorize gets connected on all of them. The Draw Ranger didn't get the BKB off, the Dawnbreaker didn't get the BKB off. The fight is immediately over. Solo won by just one single spell, and that cannot be allowed. Spiky, they're just not performing that well in these fights as a team.
Ascent Esports showing off some decent, really good coordination and game understanding here. And they have themselves the
Backdoor
mega
protection
creeps now.
who...
Oh gosh. Alright. Satanic now also picked up by the Shadow Fiend to make sure that they finalize this push. Hara hoping for the hook, but he misses. And this Drow respawning in 15 seconds, but the game will already be over by then. They looking to finish this. Puck doing its best. Doesn't even get off the Dream Coil just yet. They do find the hook onto the DK, but it does not matter. The Ancient is destroyed. Ascent wins the game and putting themselves one step closer to continuing the journey to Bangkok.
That was...
We'll see. We'll see. Some decision making in the last game certainly wasn't in their favor. Hopefully it pans out differently since SS is now playing a hero that requires him to be the proactive one instead of waiting for the team. So hopefully when he's not reacting, the initiation will be a lot cleaner from the Magnus.
This is one of the reasons that maybe I could see Ascent winning, of course, other than the fact that they're obviously the favorites in the game, is that the enemies are pretty much solely relying on physical damage. Sure, Dark Willow does some magical, but other than that, you are physical damage dealers, right? So you can get Guardian Greaves on the Underlord and then the Crimson Guard, and if you get an AC at some point, you really will be countering this thing quite a lot. So it's easy to itemize versus Spiky aiming. You need 4 staffs, and you need the armor. You're really not gonna have a problem killing them at all, right? All of these heroes are very easy to bring down.
Still just paused up right now. I'm also really hoping that we at least get one big team fight where SS catches multiple heroes while the Empower is on Butterfly Effect. And we can see those classic massive melt strikes that just demolish the enemy team.
What about a Vengeful Spirit with the Empower just cleaving through those heroes? That would be even cooler, not gonna lie, right? Especially because the Soul Strike. I was hoping that when Soul Strike was introduced that people were going to be getting Battle Fury on Vengeful Spirit. It just never happened.
She's got a Battle Fury from the SS, so it's fine.
Nah, it's not good enough. It's just 30%. I want more. 40.
Speaking of Battle Furies, I really miss the days when Ember Spirit was a carry hero. And you'd buy like Battle Fury, double Daedalus. You press W, everybody dies. Good times.
That was a long time ago, man, and I still cannot believe that every single time you're taking me down nostalgia lane. I really have to stop doing that.
This is what happens when you put old men on the broadcast, man. You start reminiscing about the good old days.
You are very old, right?
Super old, bro. 32 years old. I might as well start collecting my pension.
Yeah. When are you retiring? Are you retired and then just, in your spare time?
Yeah. This is like
Dota.
when you have a hobby of being a mechanic. And Takahashi, looks like your hobby is going to be being dead, my friend. Manic going to go to draw that first blood. It wasn't bad enough that the lane matchup was going to be tough. Now the person that's going to counter you in lane also participated in the kill, so he'll have more experience too.
This is a... That top lane is going to be a problem. I really don't know why they went for the Underlord. Nyx Assassin, fine. When you have a Clockwork on the other side, fine, because you want to be hunting people, that's okay. But why? Why get an Underlord? Now you're 2 melee heroes versus a Clockwork and Avenge. This is not going to be an easy lane for you.
Already going in right now. with the battery assault on Hara. Takahashi, how much harass are you going to take, my friend? Not that much. Manic focusing on some of the creeps for now.
Yeah, very smart. They're just using their spells on the side of Ascent to shove in the wave, right? You use the Impale, you use the Rain of Fire or Firestorm, and you just make sure that the wave is shoved in. This is a problem for Candyloon.
Well, it might actually be an additional problem for Takahashi here. Getting slowed down by the blood grenade. I think this is a dead Nyx assassin.
One more.
Second kill of the game and might actually get a third because they find the magic missile out onto Candyloon. Wave of Terror is out and it's a double kill for Manic. Oh boy, this is very reminiscent of how the early lane phase was going in game 1.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't see it changing, right? In the previous game, it's a drow, so at some point you think they're going to be able to dive her, and they were able to dive her and push out the lane killer a couple of times. How do you dive a Vengeful Spirit when there's a Clockwork there? First of all, it's a tanky hero on the Venge. Second of all, Clockwork is one of the best heroes in deterring you, and you have to melee. Rain Cloud in trouble as well.
Yep. Taking quite a bit of damage. K-Class, one more right click all that is needed, and they do find the kill. Rain Cloud gone on the Shadow Fiend. I mean, last game for Ascent, things weren't perfect in the laning phase, but this is just abject disaster.
Yeah, he decided to turn around with the double raise, and it ended up costing him his life. That's wasn't great.
Like top lane, they're not going to stop with the aggression. This time it's Hara taking some licks, but unfortunately just not that much lockdown. Candyloon is level 2, so no points into the Pit of Malice. Hara will be fine.
And very low CS on the side lanes overall, right? Usually we see a little bit more, but because there's just so much brawling, it just makes sense that they're not going to be farming that much. The Underlord is getting a decent amount of CS. Despite dying, this is very important for the hero.
Bottom, we of course see that SF is going to try to do his best to recover his own position in the CS department. At the same time, Magnus is also like, yeah, we've already gotten a kill. I probably do need to hit creeps at some point.
This is one thing that we haven't talked much. The Magnus and the Dark Willow are a hell of a combo. You can use the Shockwave to pull people into the extra brambles, and then of course the Skewer to do that as well. The damage output with the Bramble Maze and all of the spells that the Magnus can utilize can be insane. And SF is, I mean, generally a very squishy hero, so this Marcy is gonna have to work overtime.
Top lane, speaking of overtime, Hara is putting in aggression overtime here. They're going in onto Takahashi. Hara will die first though.
Fine.
Manic will not have anything left in the tank to keep the chase going. Okay, so Ascent might not be able to push them out, but they're not dying. On bottom, speaking of death, Rain Cloud, his death may be coming. SS getting the Skewer into an additional Bramble. A couple of more right clicks is all that they'll need, but they do not find them. Rebound from the Mossy, trying to pull the Dark Willow into danger. Instead, it pulls K-Class closer to deliver damage with the Shadow Realm hits. SS finishes it off with the Shockwave. The very least, can they kill the Dark Willow? Mossy just needs a little bit more. Does find it, but with the Brambles being dropped down, her life is probably forfeit. And SS will gain a double kill. And in the meantime, top lane Manic also able to run the get back for his boy Hara, killing off Candyloon. Spiky Gaming. They couldn't have dreamed of a better start to the laning phase for game 2.
When Hara is full, he can do whatever the hell he wants, right? Because you are not going to be getting close to the Vengeful Spirit and she can do the damage. The only thing that Ascent can do is stand their ground and kill the Clockwork. So if he's not full HP, like half, they can make that happen. But if he is full, if he just came back to the from the base, then every single time they're going to be winning the trade on the side of Spiky.
Well, let's talk about some good news for Ascent Gaming. Mid is going decently. You know, they're tied up. Top, never mind, there's no good news anyway because it's just constant, ruthless aggression. Hara putting out this pressure onto Takahashi, trying to close the gap for the magic missile. Manic able to find it, but perhaps now wishing he'd thrown it onto Candyloon instead. Nonetheless, forcing both heroes back. And man, they just will not stop brawling. Guys, relax. Hit creeps for a while.
And these scary players that hit each other. This is perfect. This is what we want to see. This is the type of gameplay. Takahashi has been caught again.
Oh my god, dude, Takahashi. Can my boy catch a break? Apparently not. Candyloon will be able to at least finish off Hara. But Takahashi has just been getting ran at constantly in this game, in this lane.
I really hate level 1 magic missile. The level 2 increases your damage by so much, more than 50%. So, okay, actually, exactly 100%. That's what I meant. It increases it by double. I really like when Vengeful Spirits get a second point in it. It really increases the damage output of the spell by quite a lot.
Doesn't seem to need it though. Still in on a lot of kills. 4-0 and 1 in the first 6 minutes. I count that as a win for the Venge.
For sure. He's 3.6k net worth on the Venge. The next hero is the TA with 2.8. This is just an over-farmed Vengeful Spirit, and I can't wait to see which item he goes for and when he goes for an Aghanim Scepter. If it's a very early Ags, and it could be because you have a TA in the mid lane, so you have another carry.
Well, she might be delayed in that regard because she's about to die. Candy Loon ending the dominating streak. That's a lot of gold for 6 minutes into the game. But just goes to show how farm she is at the moment.
The thing is that Candy Loon was farming quite well as well, so with this skill, it's going to be propelling him to the second spot of the network chart, which is huge. We talked about the itemizations of the Underlord. He's the one that's going to be getting the Guardian Greaves. He's the one that's going to be getting the Crimson Guard, and once he does, it really changes the game quite a lot. He has a Chainmail, he has a Ring of Protection. If he gets a Vanguard now, he's not going to be dying in quite some time.
One of the big things as well is that because the enemy team has a Templar Assassin in the mid lane, not some puck or whatever, you're not worried about them prioritizing the rotation into you. It's just going to take quite a while before the TA is ready to make such moves. So your gold lead in this will be protected for quite some time.
How does Ascent keep allowing this to happen for their Wisdom Runes to be taken? I mean, it's just a lone clock we're going there when you have a Nyx Assassin who has a hero with 2 stuns. And you just allow him to steal it from you once again. It is not that big of a deal as it was in the previous game, but still quite a big deal for the Spiky supports to get their level 6s early.
Spiky, they're going to be losing out potentially on their tier 1 tower in the top lane. The question is, will they lose more? Hara getting thrown back with the dispose. It should be a dead Marcy. And as mentioned, it is a TA in the mid lane, not a hero that can make these moves, so can't really protect the tower. It's going to go away.
One thing you can do is push the enemy tower, right? That is what the DA is very good at. So if the puck tries to rotate, you are immediately going to be shoving in the waves quite heavily. But second power rune goes towards the puck. It's a haste one, making him an even more formidable enemy when it comes to diving towers, or if he wants to dive you with the haste rune, he can actually get himself into a good position.
They got the tower in the top lane. SF finally able to start farming a little bit. Really was having a tough time down bottom, but that particular portion of the game is over. We'll see him just occupying spaces in the jungle, finishing off this Mask of Madness, and farm we go.
Yep, he is gonna be getting a ton of it. Everybody in this game is gonna be getting a ton of farm. The Vengeful Spirits farm should slow down a little bit after the laning stage ends, which is the case right now. But if you get that Dragon Lance, you can start pressuring the towers and get the farm that way. So we can expect Manic to go that route, especially because it's relatively close to the D-Lance, right? Another 450 gold.
Have a Dream Coil middle onto K-Class, which turns into a quick kill from Suki with this haste rune. And not done just yet. It's actually going to trigger it and go bottom. But by the time they get there, TA sees him, says, oh, hey, y'all.
They found Manic.
Be a little bit careful, but they found Manic. This is a big deal inside the power cogs. Unfortunately, there's not enough protection. Hit of Malice was there. The right tricks were out from Raincloud. Hara should be able to get away. No, puck coming in on the other side. Has the rune giving the additional mana, and the mana will be enough. Get the right click at the very end, and that's an additional kill. 2 for nothing. And pressure onto the tier 1.
Center just playing better Dota. The way that you play with Spiky at this point is play around your traps. You do not fight if you do not have traps around, and they're fighting without them.
Now they're bringing in this Magnus. How do they find... Oh, swap back. Will they have the necessary stuns onto the puck? Oh, Shockwave. Pulls him into the Bramble. No escape from that one. So Suki will end up dead.
Going a little bit too deep, you know, in an area that is going to be laced with traps if you're butterfly effect. He doesn't have that many traps set though. This is what I would like, the mid lane to be surrounded by traps so that you never allow that tower to fall or the enemies to enter your triangle, because that is where you're going to be getting the majority of your farm.
Butterfly effect now pressuring the tower with the Sea Dragon in tow. Doesn't seem like anyone's coming immediately. They'll come towards the tail end of the HP, but you have to deny this tower.
That was close. The siege wagon was charging up that last attack, so Candyloon, he almost missed up on the deny. This is gonna be finishing off his Vanguard, so Candyloon now is extremely tanky compared to the damage of the enemies, and once again they find the Nyx.
They find the Nyx, but who found who? The Sentry Ward that was down ended up being very, very good. Unfortunately, Manic can't get away in time. Thrown back towards the waiting arms of the Shadow Fiend. Rains down the damage. Rain Cloud with the double kill. And Spiky Gaming, yet again, being outmaneuvered. The Sword was pretty decent, but they couldn't respond fast enough to get away.
So what Spiky are doing is that they're just putting a lot of sentries on the top lane and trying to farm around those. That is too much of an investment. And also, you do not want to be separated, because even if you find the Nyx, you're not going to be bursting him down. The way that you should be playing this lineup is getting together on the bottom lane, shoving in the wave, trying to push down the tower. The thing is, the longer that you're waiting, the more unkillable Candyloon is going to be becoming, and then it's going to become increasingly difficult to do anything about it. But at least they have a Blink Dagger on the Magnus, so that should be starting to allow them to make plays.
Suki got swapped back into the river. Manic hoping to try and find this kill with the magic missile. Unfortunately, not going to be able to connect it onto Suki. The Magnus isn't there. An easier target, though, is going to be the support on this Marcy. IJ is down. And I think they might want to still go for more. Oh, maybe not, because they actually committed the RP for that kill.
Doesn't matter. You can still go for more, especially during the time that Marcy is down. So now with the Blink Dagger and the Magnus play together, but once again, they're going to find him.
They've got the quick kill onto K-Class. Manic trying to run himself away. SS misses the skewer. This might lead to the death of Manic, doing his best to try and run away here. They go forward with the TA. The Impale will be there. Not enough damage just yet. However, the Necro Minions will finish the job. Bringing down Takahashi. Butterfly effect forced to vacate the area, and just watch as Hara gets rained down on. Mega kill streak for the SF right now. And they just bleeded heroes all across the map for Spiky.
Yeah, you are just separating too much. You need to be close to each other. If the Nyx gets on top of anybody, they're gonna die. Suki in a lot of trouble.
That was surprisingly close. Suki, though, able to get away.
Had a fairy fire.
Very fortunate for him that the Dark Willow wasn't closer with the Bramble Mace.
Yeah, the fairy fire and the TA lost her refraction hits, so the damage output started being lower. It is insane just how much of a difference it makes. They are making a move onto the Underlord in the bottom lane, and they should be able to get on top of him and kill him.
Yep. The skewers into the additional brambles. Bring him down, building into a rod of Atos. Not going to be able to finish it off right now with the Vit booster. I mean, that is something, because it also makes a little bit more space for Manic to farm freely down bottom.
Yep, this is what you want to do. Open the bottom side of the map. It's not that easy for Ascent to go towards the bottom lane at this point, so you can only go there with a smoke with multiple heroes, and that's not what you want to do with the Nyx Assassin lineup. So now you can see the Nyx is there, but he cannot really do much other than steal the Wisdom Rune, which in itself is not half bad if Takahashi can get there, and I think he might.
Looks like he's got it. Nobody here to interrupt him. Nicely done. Good stuff. Who got the other one on their side? Shadow Fiend. Yeah. Alright, so Ascent finally being the ones that control the distribution of the Wisdom Runes. Good shot from Hara. Going forward onto the Marcy. Can they burst her before reinforcements show up? It looks like they will. They commit to a Bedlam for it. It's a nice, quick, easy kill. And while they're doing this though, Takahashi, he sees Butterfly effect, but unfortunately doesn't have anyone to help him. Just blocks the camp.
Laying dagger on the puck now. Ascent do have a way to make plays a little bit more between the puck and the Knicks, so these two might just be going for kills. But overall, at the moment, Ascent don't have that many plays to make. They need to be utilizing the Fiend's Gate of the Underlord quite a lot. Did he finish his ATOS? Not just yet. That's also another catch that you most definitely need.
Bringing heroes down bottom. Looks like we're going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned scuffle. SS is here. SS is looking for the Blink RP, but they cancel his Blink Dagger. In the meantime,
Hags on
it's going to be
bench.
the Nyx Assassin opening some space. They bring in the Abyssal Underlord with the pit, and can they surround Manic? No, they're going north. They're avoiding Manic for now, but they finally refocus onto this Vengeful Spirit. They bring her down. The illusion will come out, killing off Marcy. At the same time, SS yet again prevented entry into the fight by
Puck is
Takahashi,
coming.
who will die for his sins. But like you say, the puck en route wants to try and have some impact in this fight. Manic rushing forward with the clone. Does have access to another magic missile. Butterfly effect, Blink Dagger online once more with the Melt Strike. So it looks like this is a particular engagement will end. It's 2 for 2, but because they killed the Magnus, it is in favor of the side of Ascent. 2 cores for the price of nothing.
They did kill 2 cores, but they used a lot of spells on the side of Ascent, so this push will continue. And if you get this tier 2, it is a clear opening to, once the daytime comes, to take the Roshan. I think that is the main idea right now that Spiky have in their heads. Even if they don't take this tower, but continue to control this area, once the daytime comes, it is going to be easier to take it. And Ascent at this moment, it feels too risky and too long to go that route, so they're just going to continue diving.
They are, but this time around, Hara will regret that dive, ends up dead. They also find the Rod of
Atos
Atos in the Pit of Malice onto Manic. He just came back, sent back into the fountain already. All of a sudden, they have broken Spiky Gaming. They need to retreat. And also, what's crazy about that entire last fight, I think the MVP of all of this is Takahashi. 2 separate occasions, he prevents the Magnus from finding a good angle for the Blink RP. And though it is available now, they might still try for it with this TA, but I don't know about this one, gang.
This is dangerous.
RP will be there. They bring the heroes closer. The Melt Strikes are out, and it turns out to be a genius maneuver. Butterfly effect with the patience. Ends up finding massive grabs here. Can they get more? The attempt to take the Twin Gates. Nyx Assassin can't do it. Too much damage from Butterfly effect. That's a double kill on the TA. Already up to 6 stacks on the Desolator. And Spiky Gaming sort of resetting the equilibrium on the map due to that fight.
Yeah, and he is gonna have the shard now as well. Plus the Rain Cloud has TP'd on the top lane. They're coming. This SF is in trouble. He's not gonna be killing these creeps in time.
Yep, he's dead. No way out of this one. He's inside the Bramble Maze. Butterfly effect now unstoppable. And if they can get the tier 1 tower, they can go straight into the Roshan pit.
But I think still the safer choice is to kill it on the Radiant side. Though this is just too good of a position to give up on. I think you go there.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Bro, he bought this Deso 90 seconds ago,
Radiant
basically.
are scanned.
How is he on 8 already?
Dire's
Because he is murdering people. He just killed 3 heroes in the bottom lane. It was a very cool play coming out from Spiky. They went a little bit too aggressive on the bottom lane dives, not respecting really what the Pit of Malice is going to do in those kind of situations. But as far as going well, they don't have a sentry? They don't have a sentry.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, they got
They
it.
don't need a sentry. They've got some dust. Takahashi still actually gets a kill onto Manic of all people.
Hashtag worth.
Dude.
He didn't even have a
Hashtag
Dagon.
worth.
Oh my god.
Takahashi is actually playing this game like a god.
Yep, he's doing everything right. His movements, his the way he's giving vision, the parts of the map that he's playing on. Candy Loon, however, this is not the part of the map that you want to be on.
No, definitely is not. Fortunately for him, they're going to send him to a much friendlier part of the map. Fountain can't hurt you. So, go take a bath, my friend.
Oh, Manic? He's gonna be coming back onto his illusion. This is dangerous for him. Luckily, there are some traps in the vicinity and the help is coming.
Magic missile out. Will he swap back? He's
Yep.
thinking about it, but he's also thinking about the fact that he'd be swapping into the SF. So, probably not the wisest move.
Coward. He should have gone for it.
Middle lane. Looks like they managed to find and kill K-Class. Yet again, the main culprit, Takahashi, he also doesn't get skewered back. Unfortunately, he does run directly into this clockwork of horror. despite all the good moves he's made, should end up dead here. That being said, he's actually still alive. Hara's the one that dies first, forced into a RP on the 3, but where's the follow-up? TA finally is here to throw in the damage, but these heroes just aren't dying. Pit of Malice holding the Templar Assassin and the Venge back. SS gets murdered by Suki, who finds himself a double kill. Butterfly effect. Can you go anywhere effective in this fight? Some of these heroes are very, very low, but now they're going in onto Manic. Manic is dead. Even the clone can't kill off this Marcy. Marcy's still fighting, eventually does die. Butterfly effect now coming in to take down the Nyx Assassin. Now Katelos, big terrorize onto the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend is falling lower. Shadow Fiend is falling down. A double R again for the Templar Assassin. Hook shot from Hara onto the Underlord to kill him off. This fight was so long, Hara respawned and rejoined it. But ultimately, it's to the favor of Spiky Gaming. 8 heroes end up dead, but the big ones are on the side of Ascent.
It was 4 for 4, and the Aegis on the other side is still active, and it is the timer getting reduced. So not the worst thing in the world for Ascent. It is a slight victory for Spiky, and the only reason for it is, oh guys, let's kill the Venge Illusion. Why? Why didn't they just go away? They could have escaped, maybe gave them the Nyx because of the swap, and that's about it. Use the Requiem maybe to just cover for the retreat, but sometimes you get greedy, and if they did kill that illusion, then everybody else would fall. Even the supports that respawned, if they would want to re-engage, they'd be in a lot of trouble.
Spiky now got themselves a tier 2 tower. They smoke again. They want to re-engage and push into the tier 2 down bottom.
You want to catch somebody first, right? You don't just want to straight up be attacking the tower, because then the Pit of Malice and the Firestorm could be an issue for you. So you're trying to immediately assert the dominance here behind the tower while the TA is shoving it in. I like it. It's actually quite smart. The thing is, Ascent don't seem to be interested in any kind of defense.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Ascent's just farming elsewhere on the map. They're trying to finish off this 4-star for the Shadow Fiend. They're realizing just how problematic it is for him to be playing into this clockwork.
Radiant are scared.
But once he gets this 4-star, it might get a lot easier.
Tower has fallen.
See, Manic is going for a Manta. Okay, I like that. One thing I don't like is no Guardian Greaves on this Underlord. It's just such a good Guardian Greaves game because you're playing versus a Dark Willow, then at least a Lotus Orb, but he wants a Shard, which sure, it's gonna help you shove out the waves, but your towers are already in trouble, and Spiky, they don't care about waves, they just care about asserting dominance by positioning aggressively on the map.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Hara has a courier taken out by the Nyx Assassin. However, with this AD rune, Spiky want to use the vestiges of this Aegis to take down this tier 3 tower.
Is under attack.
It's already down quite a lot. They need to be careful. SS was hoping to find somebody with the Horn Toss. Fails in that regard, but he does get out of the map. He's safe for now. Tier 3 tower already taken away. Butterfly effect. Will he still choose to stick around? Getting pushed back a little bit by the puck. But with some 4-stars, they get out to safety on the high ground, and they will count it as a win and retreat safely.
It's 20 seconds before the Aegis expires, so Ascent, it seems like they want to go for a chase. This is a very nice defensive positioning for Spiky. They need to move themselves back and cover with traps if they want to go for a fight.
Manic, yet again, the first one out the gate to get caught here. He's already gone down. The rest of Spiky don't really want this smoke. They don't want this action. Manic, 4-star.
He has
Onto
a
the
swap
high ground.
though.
He actually has a swap, and he has the magic missile to bounce around here. Gonna throw in the magic missile. It gets dodged by the Manta style, unfortunately. So nothing that he can do. In the meantime, Butterfly effect might be in more danger down bottom. Oh, RP to the north. They found the Puck. Puck is in danger. Puck is gonna die. Butterfly effect activates the BKB to find that kill. Manic still running around with this illusion, respawning in 10 seconds. They get the skewer back onto the Underlord. One more right click from TA kills him off as well. The shockwave doesn't connect onto Takahashi. However, the Cursed Crown will. Manic comes back, throws in the magic missile, and it ends up being a 4-for-2 exchange in the end. Ascent overplay their hand despite having a phenomenal start to the fight.
TA doing most of the damage there, but that 4-staff onto the high ground actually won the fight. Manic would have lost his illusion, and then without it, you don't have vision, you have to run, he doesn't do the damage. But his illusion was on the high ground. This hero is actually very tanky, so the SF with the misses from the low ground, he couldn't do much. Then with his swap, he finishes off the Marcy, and not only that, he also sandwiches the retreat of Ascent, so they cannot get away. If he's trying to run away, they're going through the Vengeful Spirit illusion. And because of all of that, the fight was lasting long enough that at some point you're starting to think, oh god, he's gonna come back to life, and then we're dealing with an alive Vengeful Spirit all over again. So Ascent, every single time that they kill this Venge, it creates a big problem for their lineup, because they're very good at killing the first hero because of the Nyx Assassin, but then the follow-up damage is lacking, and that is where the SF needs to elevate his damage, considering that he wants to go for a butterfly, which generally is a good item in this game, but I think you might need to kill these heroes faster.
Yeah. Might be looking into some Daedalus or something like this. 3k gold lead for the side of Spiky Gaming. They have a pretty amount of the map that they can play with, but now a fight's coming into them. Manic, yet again, and they find first. Should be able to kill him off. He swaps back to safety though, away from the Requiem. Oh no, this is a very big problem. Hookshot now catches Raincloud. They stop him other cogs. They dropping a pit of malice. Terrorize interrupts that from happening, and he gets right-clicked down into oblivion. Manic still alive on the first life. They missed the skewer back with SS. Manic will lose life number 1, but able to get the swap back onto the SF, who's now surrounded by very hostile heroes. RP to hold SF in position. And with the right clicks coming through from TA, gonna be a double kill for Butterfly Effect.
These fights are just looking way too easy for the side of Spiky. They're not increasing their goal lead that much because their quote-unquote carry is dying every single fight. But they know exactly what needs to be done. We dangle the Vengeful Spirit. Even if she dies, we know who the real position 1 is, and it is Butterfly Effect on this TA. Their draft is just working so well, and despite Ascent, I'd say playing most of the time better Dota, you just don't have a play at the moment. I think their itemization in this game was just wrong. You need to itemize to be able to survive this physical damage for a long period of time. Only having the Crimson Guard, it's not good enough.
Now you're dealing with the Daedalus from the CA and a lane of super creeps in the mid lane, as they didn't manage to take down the melee Rex. Oh boy. Game is starting to look very complicated for them.
TA has more than 400 damage per hit without the refraction activated.
That sounds fair to me. Is Manic dead again? They're hunting him. They really want this. Takahashi has a blink dagger. They have blink, they have coil, but they don't have vision. Oh no, he's trying to TP out right in front of their faces. He didn't know. He didn't know. What's really funny is that had he literally just A-clicked into the middle of the lane mid, he would have lived. That's pretty much the only possible move that could have gotten him killed.
Unfortunately, that does happen. He still does keep his illusion alive, so it's not going to be an easy fight for Ascent either way.
They find Candelou, and they jump in with the Puck, who did find the Dream Coil on the 2, but they have Manic here with the illusion, so they can't keep this fight going. On the bright side, they did force out a BKB charge from Butterfly Effect, but you're losing Candelou again.
We talked about this, just not that tanky of a hero, and I thought with proper itemization that in this game at least he's going to be getting to a solid point, but he didn't properly itemize. At least now he's going for a Lotus Orb. I think that's a good choice once you get the Plate Mail, which is going to be now for the Underlord. It will be increasing your survivability a lot, but yeah, you know, there's a Daedalus on the TA, as you mentioned. It's a little bit too much damage, and now they're going to have the Roche as well.
Yep. A big thing as well is they just picked up a BKB for this Magnus. And we've seen that there have been several engagements where he wasn't able to enter the fight specifically because of Takahashi. But now with this BKB, that's not going to be happening anymore.
And because of this Venge, the Magnus is allowed to stay out of the fight for a long time. You don't really have big AoE damage or something that's going to be preventing the Magnus from blinking in. So you can just wait, and then at one point Ascent, when they think that the fight is going their way, when they think that they can run their enemies down, the Magnus can just turn it around. It is a very easy game to get a 3-4 man RP.
Dire's bottom
They're
tower
trying to swap back onto this Underlord, and they'll succeed in that
Bottom.
endeavor. Kill onto Candyloon. Does have buyback, but will be out of act commission for the next 45 seconds as they easily clean up the tier 2 top.
Hello, plate mail.
Radiant's top tower has
I
fallen.
still don't.
Dire's bottom tower
I
is
don't
under
understand
attack.
why they picked the Underlord, and then I definitely don't understand why he itemized the way he did. He does have a buyback, and the smoke is being used by Ascent, so they want to fight.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Suki's leading the charge right now. They really want to be able to find a good combo. Catch these heroes. There's what it is. Dream Quail on the 2. It's TA and Bench. Both of them hit with the RP though. Onto Puck and the Nyx Assassin. They get blown up in a hurry. No buyback available. Marcy on the back line of the fight trying to have some impact, but that impact is muted. And now with SF being thrown right into the thick of things, he gets right-clicked down. No buyback available for the Shadow Fiend. And I feel like this game might just be over. Nothing left in
Yep.
the tank for Ascent.
We are going to a game 3. Yeah, there's the GG. It was only a matter of time before they accept the reality that is that this game is lost. You don't have a glyph. Your SF is down for 60 seconds. He just bought a butterfly, no buyback, and that's gonna be it. It's so easy to get good RPs off when your teammates can play super aggressively. The Aegis on the TA, and then the double life on the Vengeful Spirit. This draft of Spiky was pretty cool, but lean on towards Spiky.
All right, let's see if Spiky can make it happen. Can please their coach
Prepare for
by getting
battle.
themselves the W in this game. Or if it's going to be Ascent, who have been slowly but surely impressing upon us that they are a team to be taken somewhat seriously.
I like how you added somewhat, right? Because there are still problems with them. I think mainly their laning stage just isn't looking that great. And, you know, versus better teams that rarely make mistakes in that transition from the laning phase into the early mid-game. Mid-game, you're just going to lose every single time and sometimes even get stomped. So, especially if they understand that you're that type of a team and really want to draft versus you directly and not just try to, let's say, practice a little bit if they feel like they can win and just play something that they will play versus any other team. But if they really want to target you directly, I would have a pretty good idea as a team how to do it versus Ascent.
I don't play support Earth Spirit. What level do you get Geo Grip if you're playing support?
I'd like for him to... So it's either 4 or 5 or 8. I think that's how it usually goes. But in this game in particular, let me check. So Storm level 6. I'd say level 4 would be a good way to get it, because that's when you can kill both the Quap and the Weaver. Usually you look at it, can my cores do enough damage for my Geomagnetic Grip to help get the kill? So it will depend from game to game, but if things go as expected, Queen of Pain is around 70% HP in the mid lane. When the Storm hits level 6, you rotate with the Silence, you can kill her. So that it would make sense to get it there.
Right. Because it does feel like there's going to be this particular portion of the game where without the Geo Grip, kills just will not be happening. So
Yep.
he needs to do well, get that spell out, find these silences. But like you said, Weaver probably going to build a Manta style. Quap, she's playing into a Storm Spirit who's going to be buying Orchid. So you can decide, do you want Yules, do you want BKB? But either way, you're going to have some anti-silence tech.
So basically, as an Earth Spirit, you need a second point in your kick. It's just a pretty solid increase in damage by 50%. And then you want to max out the Rolling Boulder. But until you get the last level of Rolling Boulder, it's not really that impressive of a spell, right? And anywhere in between, if you see that your grip is going to be making a difference, then you go for that. Some people will even save a skill point. Considering how much you need to click with this hero, it might not be the smartest move, because half a second and the Queen of Pain blinks away, or the Weaver goes into Shikuchi, and then you're going to be regretting your choice to do that.
Well, we are up and away. Game 3, the finale. Somebody's getting eliminated. I'm gonna be finding out whom here. Just saw the Earth Spirit going to attain some information. Found what he needed to, he came back. Don't think he'll be able to steal this bounty rune. We might have a slight contest bottom, so they might find 3 on the side of Spiky, and indeed they will. Nicely done.
Yeah, if you look at Ascent's level 1, it's okay, but the thing is you can ignore some of their tanky heroes and go for the lesser tanky ones. Imagine doing that versus a Tusk. He's going to be able to catch anybody. You catch the SF, he dies. That's a problem.
How does this mid lane fare here? Suki versus Queen of Pain. We used to see this matchup a lot more often. What's the balance of power these days?
I'd say it's a little bit more Storm favored. It's generally a skill matchup between the two, but because Storm has the static slide and Queen of Pain's Shadow Strike is just not as strong as you would like it to be, then it does make it a Storm favored matchup.
So far we already see that being demonstrated somewhat, but first blood actually ends up happening in the bottom lane. They find and kill this Ogre Magi, Marcy, and the Dark Willow. Okay, I did not expect that first blood to happen onto Ogre of all heroes.
Yeah, I'm very surprised as well. I see that our observer was surprised as well. Detours in chat, but sometimes you just overestimate yourself, right? As an Ogre, if you don't play this hero a lot, and a lot of people haven't started spamming him in pubs that much just yet, you think, oh, I'm unkillable, and then you remember, yeah, I'm not all that unkillable unless I know the limits of my hero, and obviously the limits were not known in that situation. And again, Ascent, they're just making mistakes in a laning phase.
In the top lane here, it did ensure that they came out with the sentry, ready to play into the Manic lane. He went for the tag team, of course, on this Tusk, so we will eventually have tag team plus Germinate. A lot of damage coming in.
Yep, that is gonna be a hard one to deal with, but still, if you just manage
going right now onto Candy Loon, he might be in some danger. The Razor will fall, drained a lot of health damage away from the Tusk, but Tusk doesn't care. At the exact same time, mid lane, it ends up being a suicide pact being drawn by these players, but Suki got the kill first, so he gets the experience.
Pretty important, right? Because the level 6s on these two is a big deal. It is something that can change the whole matchup completely if you get the level 6s a lot before your enemy. And considering the Storm got the experience and well, Queen of Pain got none of it, it really is a big deal.
We're gonna have more action in the laning phase, and indeed that wish is fulfilled because down bottom they went onto the Shadow Fiend. Yeah, sure, you get the return kill onto K-Class, but using Rain Cloud, not what they were hoping for. So SS is just ecstatic about how his lane is going. 3-minute mark, I've been involved in 2 kills. Sign me up.
This Orb of Corrosion is such a good pickup, right? The Ogre hates it. The SF hates it even more. You have to buy the early boots here with the SF. Usually you would like to get your Gloves of Haste, maybe even go for the boots of Elven Skin, and Double S, he's going again.
Kill. He does manage to evade the brambles though, walking away from K-Class. Fortunately for him, this Marcy does not have boots, so she cannot chase him out that way.
If that connected would have been a problem.
Onto Takahashi. They find him, they kill him. They also get the ice shards out onto Candy Loon. Yet again, Hara getting drained, but he doesn't care about it. Manic, hoping he has enough damage to actually find this kill. Unfortunately, he's only level 3, so the solitary point into his spells is not going to provide enough damage.
A level 1 static link just sucks, right? He was taking that damage for a couple of seconds, only got 28 of it. Really not that big of a deal. He did have a Sticks and a Healing Lotus on Candy Loon, but still not good.
Manic is playing super aggressively because he has the 17 one charges. I think he's trying to marinate Takahashi, and then they go in with the round of spells from the Tusk again. But would not be too surprised if in the next 30 seconds we see another kill in the top lane.
I wouldn't even hate if Manic just uses his wand charges. You need the extra mana, and he's gonna do it.
Oh no! He got outplayed by Takahashi, who pops a boulder into his face. Now, without Manic being nearby, all of a sudden this drain is threatening to the Tusk, and Takahashi will get himself the double kill. What a player Takahashi is, man. I'm almost tempted to give him MVP of the entire series, regardless of if they win or not.
I mean, that Weaver not using the wand, I don't know why. He was up to 19. He uses the wand there, you kill the Razor, you possibly even run down the Air Spirit, and you make this laning stage an even bigger disaster for the side of Ascent. This way, they salvage that top lane somewhat. The Razor was farming well, but if he would have died there, it is a disaster. This way, it's doable, but the biggest win for me is this Queen of Pain. I really didn't expect Butterfly Effect to crush the mid lane this much, but this is something that Butterfly Effect does. He wins matchups heavily that you wouldn't expect him to win.
You said that it's a skill lane, and clearly he is the more skilled laner in this particular regard. He is owning. 12 more CS than the Storm Spirit has at the moment, and about to apply pressure to the tier 1 with the Siege Wagon.
But at this point, you might even call for some of your supports to rotate, just to make sure that if the Storm shows his face before his level 6, you can kill him. But it does look like Suki will be able to secure his level 6 before any kind of rotations are going to be used to take away his life.
Not much mana available, unfortunately, for the Storm. But at the very least, should be able to eventually stave off this push. However, Butterfly Effect just picked up an AD rune. Certainly going to be tempted to deploy it in the top lane, and he's already on the way. In the meantime, top lane, they're already fighting. Before he even gets here, Manic wants to be able to go onto this Razor. Has the one charges at the ready. Doesn't need them just yet, but they've already found the kill onto Razor. This Earth Spirit, can he get out? No way out, because a Sonic Wave ensures the kill. Butterfly Effect, very happy with how this last couple of minutes has been going.
Yep, you got the extra kill. This time around, the Weaver will not be dumb. He will click that wand, and Manic is really playing with his life. Again, he was getting super low. This time around, of course, there were no spells on the Air Spirit to get you, but you never know what kind of stray spell could take away your life. I think it's an unnecessary risk, but a lot of professional players usually wait, you know, for that last second. Sometimes the bait makes sense, but if you feel that your concentration is dropping, that you're losing focus, then just get it out. It's much better than dying.
You made mention in the previous game about how often Ascent Gaming has their Wisdom Rune stolen. It happens again. Hara made the long trek, stole the Wisdom, gets out for free.
I just don't get it. I don't get it how you can allow that to happen 3 games in a row. It has to be, it's not the heroes of the enemies, it's just how you are playing the game and how much you're not putting the emphasis on those. And you should, right? Because all of the games you had supports that are very much reliant on their level 6s, but not only that, the enemy supports are super reliant on level 6s. Now they're gonna have them super early.
Yep. Mid lane, Suki had to go back home just to replenish his mana. And as you careful, Hara's right behind him. Thinking potentially about going on him, but doesn't have level 6, so no Warrior's Punch available. They in fact might even go onto him. Takahashi is here. They secured the Illusion Rune. Gets picked up by the Storm. Roll forward by Hara. They zip onto the high ground though. Can they kill him off in time? He's still alive, getting close to the tier 1 tower. Illusions kill him. He ends up gone, but while he was dying, the bigger grab is down bottom. They lost Rain Cloud again. The SF is down.
They wouldn't have killed the Tusk there if there was no Ignite from the Ogre Magi, and because there was an Ignite from an Ogre Magi, it left the SF alone. Now with the Unleash on the Marcy, if she is left in a 1 versus 1 versus the SF, it's a problem. Manic?
Yep. So they're actually just gonna go in onto Manic. Manic barely manages to survive here. Okay, drops the bugs. Has access to the level 6. Had a little bit of 1 charges, so in the end ends up fine.
And this is why you want a point in the Geomagnetic Grip or on either level 4 or 5. If he had it there, you could kill Manic. I was about to say you could kill Manic, but Takahashi can kill Manic anyways.
Oh man, what a player Takahashi is. Another kill onto this Weaver, no Geo Grip required. And he yet again had 1 charges, had access to the time lapse. Takahashi, they're trying to punish him for his sins, but he manages to roll away. Hara can't catch him. Sure, he ate a Stifling Dagger, but who cares? I'm alive.
Yeah, he took the Bounty Rune. He just went away. That's no problem at all. And once again, we're seeing it, right? Spiky, they crush the laning stage, and then with a series of mistakes that get immediately punished, they tend to get in trouble.
Takahashi is bottom. The first magnetize of the game is out right now. This Marcy trying to retreat beyond the safety of the tier 1. She's still alive.
She's fine.
Oh, she's fine. She's cool. 90 HP. She's all good.
He rebounded away just before the last straw connected. If the magnetize gets reapplied, I think he loses his life, but because it didn't, the Marcy will be able to escape.
Also, shout out to this Dark Willow. Clutch with the Bramble Maze to ensure that there was no further chase.
Yep. Was there on the side and needed some time to come over and assist his buddy, but in the end he was there. And well, Marcy's coming back with very nice roll from Takahashi. That was beautiful Bramble usage. He was surrounded by it and he was in the middle, couldn't really move because of the trees, but obviously he's an Earth Spirit, so he finds an angle for the roll and does survive only because of that.
So things simmering down a little bit. What do you think the current game state is telling us? Like, who's more happy with how things are going?
I'd say if I'm Ascent, I'm happier just because the way that the laning stage went, I did manage to equalize it right now. Still, in the next couple of minutes, I still favor the Spiky lineup. They have catch, they have damage, they have mobility, and Ascent don't really have ways to prevent any of that, right? So the problem still remains. You do not have ways to kill a hero from 100 to 0 at the moment super quick. You have this overtime damage on the side of Ascent, and that is going to cost you multiple times. And we saw it on the bottom lane when they tried to kill the Marcy. It just doesn't happen all that fast. In the end, she survives.
They do manage to find themselves a tier 1 tower for Spiky in the top lane. Manic being involved in that one, and SS in the crew trying to push out on the bottom side as well. It could potentially make a jump middle because Hara now does have the Walrus Punch. It's still a very hard kill on Suki. You have to catch him flush with every spell. And especially with the backup right behind him, unlikely for it to happen. They would really like to open up this tier 1 tower middle, but Ascent are doing a great job of continually defending it.
Marcy wants an Aghanim Scepter instead of a BKB. That is an interesting choice overall. I like it that the spell is nice, but I still think that the BKB might be a necessity, because with the BKB you can do whatever the hell you want in this game. With an Aghanim Scepter, well, not so much.
Top lane, Manic putting some pressure onto Candy Loon, but he's gonna be fine. And we'll see on level 8 if Takahashi is gonna pick up the Geo Grip. Hasn't gotten it just yet. And I like that Manic is going for the Gleipnir here. Getting some additional catch for your lineup would be pretty nice, and obviously having roots against a hero like the Earth Spirits is kind of essential for a game like this.
Yep, it is great. Plus, it's a perfect item for a Weaver. Deso Weaver isn't really something people go for nowadays, and you do have solid amount of physical damage. I wouldn't have hated it, but this is good enough. And you are the position 1 on your team. You don't have the super high farming mid laner this time around, so you're better off to go for a farming item than a killing one.
Suki and the gang, they want to do some killing. Moving into the bottom side of the map, they are hoping to catch SS. And unfortunately for them, the Marcy has already vacated the area, retreating to a safe part of the map. So she's chilling.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine. This smoke is gonna be completely wasted. I'm just looking if they have even placed some good vision. Not even that. The Earth Spirit is gonna try to do it. But is this even good vision if he places it? Nope. He was trying to get to the high ground there, to the cliff. That would be a good ward, but no such luck. Very good positioning from the Marcy and a beautiful read.
Yeah. She found herself getting scouted. Or if I scouted out the Earth Spirit, gets away. And while they were trying to make this maneuver, one of the reasons that Spiky Gaming knew is because they were pressuring mid with the Dark Willow and no one responded. So you have to know that, hey guys, they're trying something fishy here. And they managed to get the tower as well, opening up the map even more.
Yep, now the SF doesn't really have anywhere to farm. If you're farming in the big jungle, that is when you can be easily found. And the Razor, because he's going to be the space creator, once he gets his Manta, he needs to be given some priority. So at the moment, the center just going to be fighting for farm between all of them. That's why Suki has to farm so aggressively.
Top tower is under attack.
Hate to break it to you, fam, but Ascent lost another Wisdom Rune.
Are fortified.
It's gone. So more and more experience for these Spiky Gaming heroes. Both the supports level 8, both of the Radiant supports only level 7 at the moment.
At the 14-minute wisdom runes in the previous game, they took both of it Ascent, and they took the both 21-minute runes, so they were moving better in the early mid-game for Ascent. Now it's showing that they really don't have anybody to make plays with, and even if they do, the damage is going to be lacking.
Top lane, Manic. He could get jumped on, but instead they decide to go first onto Hara, revealing the Orchid for the first time in this game, and revealing it to good effect. They get the kill out, and Manic time-lapses back, but he's dead.
What the hell?
That was a crazy aggressive play coming in from Manic, and he gets punished. Sanity will prevail as they send him to the fountain.
Yeah, I like the sentiment to give Manic these heroes that can, for a Vengeful Spirit, have 2 lives all the time, or for a Weaver have a way to get back all of your HP. Suki, he got all of his mana back. He's got him.
Oh, he actually got him. Yeah, laning phase ain't so sweet now, is it, brother? Butterfly effect gets killed off. Suki. He's like, once he gets this Orchid, just been dominating on the game. He's out of mana now, though, so he needs to be careful from this damage of SS. Hara showing up as well, but he can't find the Walrus Punch. He's still alive on the Suki, and now these heroes need to run. SS having his damage drained away by Candy Loot. Hara as well, just eating right clicks from Rain Cloud. So they've gotten both kills. They keep Suki alive in the prospects as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He is a little bit hurt, but now he's gonna get healed in the fountain. That was beautiful. The reason why they killed that Queen of Pain is because he thought, oh, the Storm doesn't have mana, but the thing is he had a regen rune and they forgot about it, so he got most of his mana back, and then he could zip towards the Queen of Pain and solo kill that hero as well. You need to be very, very careful of the Storm Spirit now until you get the deals in the Queen of Pain. Lucky for him, he's relatively close to it, 1,000, a little bit more than that in terms of gold, so you're gonna be farming it. But at this point, if you were Spiky, you would want to be murdering people rather than just going back to farming, because your heroes are not that great at killing creeps.
Suki finding the jump again
Got him
on the butterfly effect. They got him again. Fire Blast souls him out. The Terrorize was quite good from K-Class, but the Orchid Burn will be enough. And now though, roots out onto Suki. Walrus Punch sends him in the air, and with the damage from Manic, they find the kill. Hara's on a double. Ogre Magi will die next. And yeah, they end up losing this Queen of Pain, but this time around, they were ready for the re-engage, and they successfully win the fight.
Yep, that is a big deal. Now you're gonna have 2 Atoses, one on the Dark Willow and one on the Weaver. We'll have the full Gleipnir fairly soon as well, so this Storm is gonna have a bad time. You might even consider getting a BKB right after the Orchid, but unfortunately for him, he went for the Kaya first. You're gonna finish that, and then only will you start going for it. Tier 2 token left on the ground.
Oops. Oh, no, hold up. Courier's on the way. Hey, okay, Courier fetched it.
Okay, cool.
Shadow Fiend noticed. He's bringing it over right now. And he's also not that far away from having a BKB on the SF. Just needs the recipe. 800 gold away. They're going on to the Queen of Pain again, but this time, once more, Spiky re-engage magnificently onto the Storm Spirit. And they kill him off. He definitely overplayed his hand on that one.
I'd say both of the teams have lost their focus. They played much more clean Dota in both games 1 and 2. Here we're seeing both of the teams making some uncharacteristic mistakes and not really thinking about the consequences of what might happen. They might not feel super confident about the drafts that they're playing.
Well, Manic is starting to gain in confidence, given the way that he's playing, very much on the front foot. Can start building into the BKB off the back of the Sleipnir. And they do not have anything that goes through BKB.
Well, yeah, Manic has been kind of showing us some confidence, but I think it has been misplaced for the for the majority of this game. But, okay, yeah, that killing the ogre, that's usually going to go fine for you.
Razor? Candyloon? Candyloon's in trouble. He's all by his lonesome. No BKB available or anything like that, so looks like we are having a dead Candyloon. Bedlam is what puts him over the edge. And, that's very deep in the map for a Razor to be at this stage of the game right now.
I'm trying to analyze this snare, but both of the teams are going over the aggressive. I can maybe get behind this Razor move because we are coming back to the fact that you have 3 very greedy cores and you need a lot of items. So sacrificing one guy to farm deeply on the other side of the map, it's fine, but it still feels super weird because it's coming from both sides. Both of the teams are making some uncharacteristic mistakes.
That's problematic because whoever wins, it's not like their day is over. Within an hour, they have to play against Yakult's brothers. So you can't afford for your concentration to be slipping now. As Ascent, they smoke up. They were trying to get back to where Suki is, but Suki, he got jumped.
Middle tower is under
The
attack.
Dark Willow and the Queen of Pain were right there. They committed their spells out, and this is another death on the Storm Spirit. Bottom lane, though, they're at least maybe hoping to bring down Hara, and they succeed in doing that. Manic trying to run himself away. Does not have time lapse anymore. He's ticking out. Does have 10 one charges. Can they catch up to him? The Rolling Boulder doesn't connect, but they do refresh the Magnetize. But look at the damage that comes in the opposite direction once SS is there. Activating that bodyguard, they find the kills. North of the fight, though, there's a smaller skirmish. Ogre trying to run back into safety. They run underneath a sentry with Manic. Manic is dead, and with the BKB active from
SF,
Raincloud, there's nothing that SS can do to stop him from raining out the damage. It's a double kill. Pops the duration. 9 seconds of absolute immunity and turret strength. Ascent make that fight a lot more palatable.
That was the Bloodlust plus the Mask of Madness onto the SF. That is a maxed out Bloodlust coming out from the Ogre. The amount of attack speed was insane, and this guy's not playing around. He has 25 souls right now, and you need to kill this SF. If he continues to ramp up these souls, the amount of damage that the SF will have is not going to be something that you're going to be able to survive through. He has the Hurricane Pike, and we can expect the Daedalus to be the next item. Please don't go for your Butterfly. You just want to see like those one shots, because with the amount of attack speed that he has, if he gets the Daedalus, I don't think they're gonna be able to get close to him. If you get even close to, okay, he's buying Butterfly.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Raincloud. What can we do? Bottom lane, they found Razor. Candyloon, he's gonna be dead.
Are fortified.
Nobody nearby to help him. So it seems like what you were talking about earlier was correct. Candyloon is the one that's gonna has drawn the short straw to farm the uncomfortable parts of the map.
But he has his Manta. I mean, now shoving out the waves, it's really not going to be that hard. He doesn't really need to be that deep. This death of his right now is going to be punished a lot more because you're giving away the Roche to the side of Spiky.
Giving away Roche. They already have pressure coming in towards the tier 2, which is already at very low HP. So you should be able to claim this tower as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, there is no glyph, so yeah, it should be happening. You're still a little bit afraid to show with anybody else other than the Weaver who has the Aegis, and this was a smart choice. Finally, Spiky are gonna be focused to think about what they need to do. Let's say you show the Queen of Pain there, they jump in and they burst it down. It can happen. Good thing though, the Tusk does have a blink, and with that blink, there is a good chance that all the time you're gonna be able to snowball save somebody. For a Weaver, that means time lapse. For a Queen of Pain, that means blink away.
Yep. Tormi gets taken out by the Radiant lineup. It gets granted towards the Ogre Magi, so we've got that Fire Shield. So some defensive potential to go along with the Bloodlust onto Raincloud.
Yep, that is quite nice. You buffing up the SF so that he can stand his ground is a big deal. The thing is, you don't really have a lineup built that much for the SF to stand his ground. That's why it's good to have a Bloodlust, right? You have Bloodlust, you have Hurricane Pike. His movement speed is quite high, so it's not gonna be your Drow Ranger all over again. Let's say like it was for Spiky, that she's running into a fight and can't get there to dish out the damage necessary. This SF should be able to close the gap and do the damage either way.
Some pretty fat stacks sitting behind Manic to be farmed a little bit later. Just wants to finish off the Aghanim shot for himself for now. What big items are arriving elsewhere? BKB up right now for SS, and Candy Lou, bruh. Man's is just not allowed to play Dota today. We do end up losing this Dark Willow, whilst SS also with the Unleash kills off Suki, though. A much bigger grab. Ogre Magi will end up dead now as well. SS, the double kill, didn't even need to pop the BKB for that one. But this Aghanim Scepter turned out to be the key to success. That silence on the additional pulse, I think that's what probably caught Suki off guard.
Yep, you go in with the rebound, it silences him. You hit him 5 times, another silence. Then you use the dispose, another silence as well, and then 5 hits again will silence him. If you combo the spells properly, as you should, it's really not that hard. The stone won't be coming out of the silence for like 4 or 5 seconds, and then he dies.
Yep. Now another tier 2 tower granted to the Spiky Gaming lineup. And Ascent starting to feel a little bit lost on this map right now. They haven't been able to connect the kill clean with the Storm Spirit Orchid in quite some time. This Razor just not getting the progression towards his BKB because he keeps dying.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Manic, he's gonna have his shard, and okay, he has his shard. So with the shard and the Gleipnir, the damage output of the Weaver is gonna be super high, especially the AoE part of it. Oh,
Actually going on to the Weaver. He still has an Aegis, however, and they haven't actually killed him off just yet. Rolling boulder forward, it catches onto the Queen of Pain. She's forced to yield into the air, but the Unleash from SS, they turn onto Candy Lou and they kill him off. Next on the chopping block is probably this Earth Spirit, but look at the Shadow Feed. He's trying to rein in the damage, but it's just not enough. He dies to the Sonic Wave. Storm Spirit came into the fray, able to take away the first life, at least on the Weaver. Keeping the fight going, however, needing help is this Ogre who gets caught in the Bramble Maze, killed off by the rest of Spiky. Storm Spirit forced to zip away as he can't do it all by his lonesome. Ends up being a 2-for-4 exchange. They take the Aegis away, but it was expiring in about a minute and a half anyway. They don't really care that much.
This is not looking good for them. Sure, the BKBs of the Storm and the Razor are coming, but the burst damage and the possibility of killing the Razor, even when he does have a BKB, it is there. So I don't know, man. I think Ascent have lost their timing, and especially because the SF is going for this butterfly, it's not going to change the fact that the rest of his team is not going to survive like he is. You can ignore him a little bit with the butterfly, you can most definitely do it, and now they finally brought him down, meaning that they took away the extra souls. Everything is looking up for the side of Spiky, and also after that fight, big items, they're going to be coming.
Yep. MKB going to be starting to be built into by Manic. He finished his D-Lance.
SS.
Does she have the full axe? Oh my god, she does.
Yes. It is. It might not be something that you necessarily will allow you to win the fights all that fast, but if you want to make the fights long, now you can.
BKB activated by Manic as he got jumped into by Suki, and now Candy Lou might have wandered too far forward in this fight. There's going to be the first Aghanim Shadow Strike. Thrown out by the Quap. BKB from Candy Lou is now finished. He's in danger. The spikes, they're bouncing around. We have a Gleipnir out onto Suki. He held him in position. He does manage to zip past this snowball from this Tuskar. In the meantime, though, SS jumping in onto the backline. Look at the damage from the Mossy as they push multiple heroes in with the Sonic Wave.
They can't
There's
run.
way too much magic damage. They've just killed off Rain Cloud. The lone survivor is Ogre, but there's no way out of this one, buddy. Nice deny at the very least. That was kind of cool. Suki doesn't give away gold. However, they do give away the game. GG, well played is called. Spiky Gaming will continue in the tournament. Ascent Esports eliminated. And we had a very, very, very dominant performance coming in from Spiky on the back end of this one.
They lost the drafting phase 3 games in a row, I want to say. Just in the first one,